Hello and welcome to my second English phone review or demonstration for this YouTube channel. But today the Nokia 6600, which are these two. We have it in white and a sort of pinkish gray. And I never used one of these in real life because this was the only Nokia I ever owned, because I always thought Nokia was way too mainstream. Everybody had a Nokia, so I didn't have a Nokia. I did have a Nokia at home, but that was a television, while I had a Sony phone. Always a bit against normal stuff. So let's take a look back. I always thought that this 7650 was more or less the same phone as the 6600, because they have a joystick navigation, they use a Symbian operating system. So I just assumed they were about the same, but when I started comparing them, it turned out that there were big differences. This 7650 came around the first quarter of 2002, while the 6600 came out fourth quarter of 2003. So that's almost 2 years of difference, development time between them. So they are pretty different. Another difference is that the display, 65,000 colors, 4,000 colors. This one is triple band, this is only dual band. Most of the stuff has been upgraded, much lighter and smaller, especially if you slide it out. So it's a completely different platform. While this one still has the old battery you found in 33 series, I guess. This one has the more modern, the slimmer battery of the two. And if we take a look at the insides of this one, you can always also see that this one has a slot for a memory card, which the 7650 doesn't have. Well, I have two of those in my collection. One was from a different sort of owner than the other. This one is bruised and battered, it's damaged, the screen is blurry because of all the scratches, it's even missing a button. When I got it, it was full of dirt and crap, so I had to open it up and clean it on the inside. It was really horrible, but at least now it's not a hygienic risk anymore. But let's take a look at this 6600 in pinkish gray. I'm going to turn it on. There it goes. And on the outside we can see that it has an infrared port, the on-off button at the top, these little notches here probably for the car kit mounts. We still have the old charging port, the thicker one. We have a headphone port here. No data port, so it's not really useful if you wanted to use it as a modem, if you want to use a cable. Luckily it also has Bluetooth and infrared. Well, it starts up and I put it back into factory settings, so it has this nice picture of some lady taking a picture of a car, which is actually the picture that they're using on the box as well, because I even have the box in this case and some manuals for it. So 6600, what can we see on the display? We have the normal stuff. We have a battery indicator here on this side. We have a reception indicator here, a clock, date, time, all that sort of stuff. Two shortcut buttons here, camera and favorites. We have the green and red button like Nokia has been using since 1835. We have a menu button and we have a clear button, which is of course to delete some text entry or number entry. We have a 5-way joystick navigation. We can move it up, down, left, right, and we can press it to confirm selection. And we have these two soft keys that do whatever is on the screen here. Let's go into the menu first. This is Symbian version 7. 7650 actually has version 6, so that's different again. Interestingly enough, they both use the same processor and the same VGA camera. So the same poor processor has to do more stuff on this one. which sometimes can be noticed. We have a camera, of course, which with a nice loud camera clicking sound. There, beautiful. I'm going to delete this because I just remembered I should have switched it to English for the viewers, but I think the pictograms will speak for themselves. We have some settings we can do. We have a real player, and I think anybody struggling in the 2000s or maybe even the 90s remembers real player, and I don't think it will be fond memories. I have a feeling that it was a horrible thing to use. We have some extra stuff like a calculator to calculate dollars to euros or kilograms to other stuff. We can use it as a voice recorder. And let's just take a look at the profiles, because that's where you set the ringtones. And of course, because I set it back to factory settings, we have classic. This one will sound familiar to a lot of people. Great sound effects. You can really hear that it needs some time to load the file before it starts to play. What's this? Yeah, nice. Well, so far, well, that's all for the ringtones. We have, of course, messages, internet services. There are still some favorites on this phone. Of course, I wiped it clean to protect the previous owner's privacy. We have some games, Snake, and as I said, I never really used any Nokia except this one, so I didn't really play these games, but I think to many people it will be very familiar. And I even found out how to use it. It seems everybody has good memories of Snake except for me. So I'll just do a small game. Oh, crap. Okay, that was a short game, but you get the point. Well, we have connectivity. It has Bluetooth, it has infrared. It could act as a modem if you use Bluetooth or infrared, of course. And all in all, I think this is a nice compact phone with lots of functions. Not really a smartphone yet, but one of the first steps in that direction to become real smartphones, which is of course where Nokia completely missed all the developments, and now it hardly exists anymore. Well, this is all for this Nokia 6600. More to come soon, I guess.